So the Canucks dropped their second game of the season, this time to the Flyers, on Alex Edler night. And I found it interesting because when you look at this game and compare it to the season opener against Calgary the other night, despite the different scorelines, the Canucks took on a pretty similar timeline in terms of how they actually played. The first period, mostly, it was pretty good. We were the dominant side. The second period, not too much really happens. You go into the third period with the lead in both games, and then it seems like your opposition does just enough to be able to get the best of you and take it in the extra frames. And I can't help but talk about some of our players. Don't get me wrong, there were some bright spots. Kevin Lankinen was a beast tonight. I thought the bottom six showed well. Kiefer, Sherwood, Conor, Garland, and Nils Hoglander in particular had really good games. But then you look at the top six, which was basically non-existent, and I hate to harp on guys, but when you're making $11.6 million a year, it's got to be better than that. And Elias Pettersson has not shown any signs of growth through the summertime. He looks like exactly the same player as in May, and it is only 2 games of the season, so I'll still give him the benefit of the doubt here, but that's a little bit concerning in my eyes. JT Miller also looked kind of slow. His decision making wasn't all there, making some errant passes, interceptions. It wasn't his best game, but he did only play 1 preseason game, so I'll let him get up to speed. And finally, there seems to be some trust issues going on between some of our players and Coach Rick Tocchet. I'm looking at Daniel Sprong when I say that. He didn't play at all in the third period, it seemed like. We'll see what decisions they make ahead of next game. But listen, to all the people that are panicking after 2 games in the season, just relax, take a deep breath. There's 80 more games. I'm sure they'll figure it out, and the issue isn't that they're not good enough, it's just that they haven't been playing the full 60. They always play great for the first 20 minutes, tons of pressure, but in this league, when you take your foot off the pedal for just a second, teams will take advantage of that, and we've seen that the past 2 games. This should be a wake-up call for the Canucks, and I'm expecting a lot better on Tuesday against the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we'll get into that in a moment. Let's talk about this game here, starting off with the first period of play. As I said, the Canucks played a pretty good first period, tons of chances on the power play and 5-on-5. They honestly could have had 2 or 3 more goals here, but Ersson was playing pretty good. Lankinen was also doing his job at his side. The Canucks eventually break through though, as Nils Hoglander gets an opportunity here, snipes it by the blocker of Samuel Ersson, and makes it 1-0 for the Canucks. Late in the period, the Flyers get a power play, and Lankinen makes a good save, but eventually the Flyers also get on the board here. It's Forster who gets on the end of a nice passing play. Canucks are a little bit stagnant in their own zone, but to be fair, the Flyers did move the puck well here. It's 1-1 heading into the first intermission. I also forgot to mention, but Tyler Myers did go down early in this one. It was unfortunate because Matvei has been playing his best hockey as of late. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. At the time of me recording this, there has been no update. But yeah, I hope that Matvei can return and that he's all good there. Regardless, the Canucks go down to 5D, which made it tougher. But in the second period, it's Derek Forbort here with the shot, and Teddy Bluger with the redirection, puts it by Ersson, gives the Canucks the 2-1 lead heading into the third period of play. In the third period, Cam York gets the puck, and he has so much time to release it. He gets the shot off. Initially, the ref didn't think it went in, but clearly it did. It was a nice shot, but defensively, we could have been a little bit better there. Tough look there on Daniel Sprong. He didn't see much of the ice after that goal. We keep going at this point. It's the Kevin Lankinen takeover. He's an absolute stud for the Canucks, keeping us in it because some of the players just could not be asked to play hockey in the third period. Makes a couple of really nice sprawling saves here, including this one right here. Just incredible stuff here from Kevin, and I think that he might have just won himself the starting job. It's well deserved as he takes the Canucks to overtime, and in that overtime period, not that much happened, so we have to go to a shootout. And guys, I have to talk about the shootout because it was terrible last year. It didn't look much better this time around. Miller, it was way too slow of an attempt here, just kind of crawls up to the net, doesn't get that good of a shot off. Pettersson was after that, and you saw it. The confidence just isn't there from PD right now. It's tough to see. After that, you had Jake DeBrusk, who came in with speed, which is how you should come in on a shootout, gets the goal. You had a good feeling about that one, but then Travis Konechny is there to put it by Lankinen and extends the shootout. After that, it's Conor Garland, and listen, I love Garland. He's been one of our better players in the past 2 games, but this was not a good decision from the coach. Garland almost never scores on breakaways. He tries to go for a deke here, but his stick is too small, and he loses control of the puck. It's a bit of a tough one. Lankinen makes the save to extend it once more. Brock Besser gets the nod after that. Listen, he's got one of the best wrist shots in the league, 40-goal scorer last year, but yet on this shot he goes for a little 5-hole trickery, which clearly doesn't work. It was very predictable, and the Canucks again are on their heels. Morgan Frost is up after that, and as he walks up to the net, you knew it was looking dangerous. He puts it by Lankinen, and the Flyers get the victory. I have one thing to say about this shootout, and shootouts aren't normally that big of a deal, but listen, I get it. Daniel Sprong did bad in his own end, but he's one of the better offensive guys. He has one of the best shots on the team, if not the best, which is what people have been saying. Why don't you put him in the shootout? It has been 5 rounds of players. We got Conor, Garland out there shooting for the Canucks. Even Elias Pettersson, who's at an all-time low for confidence. I get it, you have to put him out there. But they didn't even consider Daniel Sprong, whose specialty is literally one-on-ones with the goalie. So, I don't know. Just a bad decision from the coaches. But what do? At least we came out of the game with something. And in both games, we haven't been empty-handed, which is, I guess, a minor plus. So we go now into our first road trip of the year against the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Florida Panthers. We'll see with the whole hurricane situation going on if that game's even going to happen. Hopefully it does, because if not, the Canucks are going to have like a week off, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, I did want to end off this video with a quick announcement that I'm very excited to share. That's right, I will be back on the Nuckhead podcast as next week's guest. It's always a lot of fun talking with my boy Nuckhead about our favorite team in the NHL. And this week is going to be a very interesting episode that you do not want to miss because, man, there is a lot to talk about in regards to this Vancouver Canucks team. You can catch new episodes every Thursday morning, and if you do want to find it right now, I will leave a link to the podcast in the description of this video. But yeah, man, that's all for me in this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out, and take care.